So in today's video, we are going to learn how to build a number and subtract groups of 10, okay? So by now, we should be able to build numbers by using groups of 10s and groups of 1s. So quick review. This equation says 70 minus 40. I'm going to put the equal sign because we always need the equal sign in equations. 70 minus 40 equals blank. So whenever you're solving subtraction problems, you always have to remember, you always have to take away the smaller number from the bigger number. So 70 is the bigger number in here. So we know we want to start there and we want to take 40 away. Remember, subtraction means taking 40 away. Oh, I'm sorry, subtraction means taking away. All right. So right here in the number 70, we know that it tells us how many tens and it tells us how many ones. Same thing in the number 40. It tells us how many tens and it tells us how many ones. So to start off subtraction equations, you want to build the bigger number. So we know right here in 70 has 7 tens. All right. So I'm going to build my 7 tens. And I know that some of us might build our tens differently. Mr. Watterson likes to build his tens that look like long sticks because these right here remind me of stacks of 10, just like in the classroom. So right here I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens and 70. All right. So that's the first thing I did. Then the next part of the problem is telling me to minus, and we know minus means take away 4 tens, which is 40. All right. So now I'm going to minus. I am going to take away 4 tens. So think about this. If I'm going to take away some tens, is the number of tens that I have left, is it going to be more tens or less tens? So is my number going to get bigger or is my number going to get smaller if I'm taking away tens? Here's my tens. If I take some away, is my number going to get bigger or smaller? Let's find out. All right, so how many tens? It says take away 4 tens. I'm going to take away 1, 2, 3, 4. I took away 4 tens, which is 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. I took away those 4 tens. And after I took away those tens, this is what I have left. This much. I have 10, 20, 30 left. 3 tens. 1, 2, 3 tens, or 30. All right. So we built 70. Those are the 7 groups of 10 that we started with. And we minused 4 groups of 10, which is 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10. And after we took those 4 groups of 10 away, we have 3 groups of 10 left, or 30. All right. Now, subtracting groups of 10 can be really tricky. And one common mistake that people will make is this mistake. So let's start back at the beginning. All right. And I'm going to start the same problem. All right. Because I feel like some of you might make this mistake. So watch closely. All right. So let's start back with our 70. And I'm going to minus the same number. I'm going to minus 40. Then it equals something. So remember, first thing we got to do is we got to build our 7 tens, right? And we're taking our 4 tens away. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Just like last time, right? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Boom. All right, so here's our 70, and we want to take 40 away. All right, so I'm going to put minus 10, 20, 30, 40. All right, 10, 20, 30, 40. So I have my 70 right here. And then I have my minus over here. And then I have my 10, 20, 30, 40 right here. All right. This is a mistake that a lot of people make because what they're doing right here is actually adding. And you do not want to add when it's telling you to subtract. I mean, when you subtract, you want to take groups away. So I should be taking away from this 70 that I started with, okay? And sometimes what we'll do is you'll put a minus sign, and then you say, okay, minus 10, 20, 30, 40. And then you count all of them and say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. Wow. 110. Okay? This is wrong. You do not want to do your subtraction problems like this. Okay? Whenever we're subtracting, remember, we want our numbers. We start with a number, we take some away, and our number should be getting smaller, not bigger. If your number's getting bigger, you're doing something wrong. All right? Do not do it like this. Let's do one more before you try. All right, this time let's do a bigger number. I know you guys like to build really big numbers. Let's do 80 this time. Ooh, yeah, we did 70 last time. Let's do 80 this time. All right. And let's take away 50 equals. So our equation that we're about to solve here is 80 minus 50 equals something, all right? So remember, subtraction, to start off, we have to start with the bigger number and take away from that. In the number 80, how many tens are there and how many ones? We know there are 8 tens and there are 0 ones, okay? There's no ones. So let's build 80. Sometimes I like to build my groups of 10 like this. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. All right, so right here I have my 80. I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I have 8 groups of 10. And the equation is telling me take away 50, which is 5 tens. All right, 5 tens. So I want to take away 5 tens. Remember, we don't want to add more groups. You don't want to put the subtraction sign and add more groups. You're taking away from this 80 that you have, okay? Do not add more groups. When you're subtracting, you take away from the number that you start with. So we started with our 80, our 8 groups of 10. We want to take away 5 groups of 10. So we want to take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I took away my 5 groups of 10, or my 50, right? 10, 20, 30, 40. Let me count that again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I took that 50 away. And this is what I have left. Oops, sorry. This is what I have left. 1, 2, 3 tens, or 10, 20, 30. So if I start with 80 and I take 50 away, there are 3 tens left, or there are 30 left. All right. So remember, when subtracting your problems, take away from the bigger number. Do not add more groups. All right. Work hard, try your best.